Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 between Lawliet and Believe. Believe taking game number 1 in the series. Excuse me, no, Lawliet taking game number 1 in the series. Oh wait, did they? Did they? Alright, I guess you'll have to watch game number 1 just to find out. That could have just been a big anti-spoiler. Don't watch the games out of order. For those of you guys who are subscribed to me, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment and like the video below. If you're not subscribed to me, definitely subscribe to me. I try to put out WarCraft 3 videos at least 3 to 4 times a week, a little bit more right now since I am in a big rush to try and build a new machine that is not smoking and cries foul whenever I try to play and record Overwatch. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. This is going to be a Night Elf versus a Death Knight opening. I don't even have to look down over here to see the Death Knight. There he is. He's going to make his way out. Go ahead and sell that Scroll of Town Portal. Pick up Unholy Aura. There he goes. And pick up a Rod of Necromancy and Dust of Appearance. Now, we saw Believe open with a very, very similar opening in game number 1. And what that opening did was a little bit of a delay. However, the Death Knight looks to be trying to do a little bit more creeping this time around, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with this. He is going to be able to take down the Troll Trappers. He is going to be able to perhaps get into a higher level location, but would you really want to get Unholy Aura first unless you're trying to actually get in some very, very quick surrounds? That's what I really don't understand. You don't really need the high mobility, maybe the regeneration, but even then, if you're just regenerating a little bit faster, wouldn't you want the Death Coil? Alright, Ogre Warrior down over here is going to end up getting taken down. That Skeletal Minion tanking that last bit of damage here as that Death Knight will get to level 2 after that Ogre Warrior falls. Come on, finish him off. There you go. Gets to level 2 as he gets finished off. There's the Death Coil, saving or adding a little bit of more hit points there. All right, Death Knight sitting at level 2 with Death Coil and Unholy Aura. Demon Hunter on the other end with Evasion and Mana Burn, as the two armies will come to pass here in the center portion of the map. Archers in good position are currently shadow melded and are acting as a little bit of a sentry ward, and very, very annoying, I might add. Skeletal Minion across over here may try and aggro creeps. There it goes. The gnolls wake up just to attack the creep and once again go straight back to sleep. Archers, Demon Hunter now making their way off to the south side, perhaps trying to figure out where the Death Knight is. Meanwhile, the Death Knight is off to the north here, and he may be able to get a free archer out of this engagement. So far, it looks as though Lawliet really has not been able to predict where Believe is going to be. All right, look across over here. Movement speed bonus there. Skeletal Minions. However, the archers are going to be in a little bit of trouble here. The Skeletal Minions are going to be moving faster and faster, and another archer going to get taken. Wait, what is that? How did that archer even squeeze through there? Wow! One hit point making the difference right there, as the Death Knight using an extra 75 mana to essentially do 3 points of damage. Not necessarily the best trade there, but whenever you're going up against a Demon Hunter in the early stages, your mana is a double-edged sword, both useful and a liability. And the Death Knight just chose to Death Coil it off and at least get one archer down for now. Let's go ahead and continue to take a look at how things go. The Death Knight now off over here. You can see archers about to engage, getting in some additional arrows onto those ghouls. The ghouls now trying to head back off to the north. The ghouls somehow still have Unholy Aura, finally losing it there as the Panda is now engaging. Lawliet, however, is not engaging with the Panda right now, and that could be actually a big issue. Are we going to see a Shadow Meld? No Shadow Meld needed. Or not, no Shadow Meld in time, as the ghouls are now in a little bit of trouble. All right, that ghoul needs to head back around the other way. He will not be able to head back home. The Death Knight losing one of his ghouls there, as the Panda may be able to... Oh, that Panda now going to be in a little bit of trouble. Is he going to get surrounded? Panda in serious trouble right now. So far, trying to get away from here. This is not looking good at all. Panda going to be rushing off into a corner and really fighting with the trees to his back. And it looks like he may end up getting taken down again. All right, let's take a look at that. Death Coil saves the unit. Let's take a look. Panda now gets off one last blow before he gets taken down. That breath of fire right there, and a detonation goes down as well, as Believe taking some easy or some well-deserved early kills, hard-earned early kills to try and well, build on a lead. Let's take a look at this off over here. Demon Hunter may try and once more mana burn that Naga Sea Witch. That Demon Hunter trying to get in position, but does not want to run past the ghouls in order to get the mana burn off on that Naga Sea Witch. What I am concerned about, though, is that Believe has a rather small engaging army right now, and all of his ghouls are back at home trying to harvest more lumber. There is not that many units for Believe to really use right now up until he gets those slaughterhouses and starts training up some Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends are slowly being added to this army, but it is going to be a little bit of time before they are ready. All right, Death Knight now going to come across and engage right there. There was a mana burn. Is he going to try and Death Coil it to try and steal the item? Did he steal it? No. It looks like the Demon Hunter was able to pick up the Circlet of Nobility. Death Knight, Naga Sea Witch, Ghouls. We are just engaging again, and the Scroll of Town Portal is going to get transferred over. All right, now going after the Demon Hunter instead. Demon Hunter now taking a fair bit of damage, and now the Death Knight down to 69 hit points survives. He probably engaged against his own units for just a moment to try and lose aggro as the other units were attacking. All right, other skeletal minions attempting to block the way and doing a fantastic job. However, the Death Knight, what is he doing? He wanders back just a little bit. Demon Hunter may be able to get off a mana burn. Yes, he does. And the Death Knight, now down to 50 hit points, will really benefit from being back on Blight. All right, Death Knight has some work to do right now. He needs to heal up and heal up quickly. He'll finish healing up in about a minute if he stays on that Blight, but he does not want to give his opponent that much time and that much of an opportunity to really get ahead. Actually, it will take him about 2 minutes there. So he needs to find a way to heal up faster, and the Obsidian Statue is just what the doctor ordered. Back across over here, Lawliet does have his dual Ancients of Lore. He is getting the Adept training, or the Adept training while taking the Tree of Eternity. He should have the Mastery training and those bears. And hats off to Lawliet in the previous game, using that bear effectively even in the later stages of the game. But right now, Lawliet will be climbing back in order to get back into this game. Yes, he does have a higher level primary hero, but that's really all he has going for him right now. He was forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal early. He wasn't able to get in as much kills on the other player, so even though the overall level, level advantage is now pretty much moot, as well as the Demon Hunter and the Panda are actually behind 1 level compared to the Death Knight and that Naga Sea Witch. These players, as they venture forth, what are they looking to do? It looks as though the Death Knight wants to creep out as much as he possibly can. He wants to perhaps clear up this Forest Troll Warlord creep camp, get to level 3 on the Naga Sea Witch, maybe even pick up that Lich as well. Getting to level 2 would definitely help, as the Lich does get Frost Armor. No, Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual, having plenty of mana on that Lich, allows him to just continue to spam out all of that damage pretty quickly. Let's take a look. Lich currently sitting at level 1, almost, or halfway to level 2 already. Meanwhile, back down across over here, Lawliet is going to clear up the Null Overseer, gonna go ahead and take it down, and once again finish off these Null Assassins here. All right, Null Warden, Null Assassins gonna get taken down. We have Dryads finishing off things over here, and it looks like we're gonna be having a good engagement and battle coming across the center. Ankh of Reincarnation has been dropped, and that is a very interesting drop by Believe. Just because the Death Knight can venture forth and perhaps get back into this game, it doesn't mean he necessarily wants to engage like that. All right, Forest Troll Berserker, Tome of Strength +2, now given to the Demon Hunter. There's the mana burn. Lich needs to figure out a way to perhaps get a good Frost Nova down, as it sees a Breath of Fire hitting multiple units. Demon Hunter, 1 very low hit point ghoul. There's a Fork Lightning, Potion of Invulnerability just in time as it turns around to fight once more. All right, low hit point ghoul, 2 of them. Scroll of Healing quickly used right before the Breath of Fire, and it looks as though 1 ghoul will get taken down. Is this Panda gonna be able to get away? Yes, it will, and somehow 3 very, very low hit point ghouls also stay alive. Luette almost losing both of his heroes there, the Demon Hunter and the Panda. He's going to need some rejuvenation on both heroes in order to really venture forth once more. The Druids of the Claw, however, low on mana here, as we're going to be looking at the Naga Sea Witch and Believe with the Undead army trying to clear out this top right-hand side. This is actually a brilliant play by Lawliet, knowing that perhaps Believe is trying to creep out the top right. He's going to actually venture forth, buy time for the mana on those Druids of the Claw to replenish by creeping out the bottom left. And what a good decision right there, just trying to stay within positioning. And this way, Lawliet is not falling behind in the experience race, and he's actually getting slightly ahead, as he's going to also get mana for these Druids of the Claw, which will continue to heal these remaining units. Death Knight sitting at level 3. Lich sitting at level 2. Naga Sea Witch almost at 3 as well, compared to a 4 and a 3. So, what, 3-2-2 compared to a 4-3? Or 4-3-2. That Naga Sea Witch, once it gets to level 3, though, is going to change things up. 3-3-2 compared to 4-3. Yeah, that's, what, 8 total level versus 7. The additional item slots, the additional Orb of Corruption, the auto attacks, all of those things do make and do add up to and be a very big difference in these upcoming fights. Death Knight sitting at 58 over 60 supply at low upkeep. Meanwhile, Lawliet starting to slowly build a bank right now, as he is only sitting at 49 over 60. That's really where where he wants to be at this point. You can see the Druids of the Claw. All of these units are going to be ready to go to engage here. There is now a Goblin Zeppelin, and Lawliet knows that Bears and Demon Hunter and Panda attempting to take down a haunted gold mine is one of the most dangerous things, as it will end up freezing the economy of his opponent for at least a little while. Back over here on the top left, 55 over 70 Dryads units are being trained up, and it looks as though this Zeppelin play, which is very possible because of the high supply value of this Goblin Zeppelin. You can see a very, very strong army right there. Breath of Fire quickly coming across. It looks as though the haunted gold mine gonna get taken down without any real issue whatsoever. There goes the haunted gold mine. That is gonna be out of commission for at least a little while, and maybe even a ziggurat or two. Nope. Ziggurats are going to be able to survive. Destroyer is right there. Oh, the Demon Hunter now purposely... wow. That is one of the most difficult things to do, being able to use the Staff of Preservation on the Goblin Zeppelin while getting in the Zeppelin at the same time. That seems like it shouldn't work. You would think, you know what, that cannot work, that shouldn't happen. Well, that's exactly what happened there. An instantaneous Scroll of Town Portal, essentially. Alright. Goblin Zeppelin perhaps should unload the bear so that they can heal back up, engage, do something that is somewhat useful. Lawliet also repairing that Goblin Zeppelin here. You can see Panda is invisible. Demon Hunter is not. As we take a look back down over here, we are rebuilding this haunted gold mine. Panda is in position, and he is going to perhaps try and Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire on all of these acolytes, as the Demon Hunter are going to get some easy kills on some units out across the map. Alright, Panda is just sitting right here, hiding in plain sight, sitting outside of his opponent's base thinking, you know, or inside his opponent's base thinking, if they ever leave, I can blow the acolytes over. One Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, followed by another Breath of Fire should be enough to finish them off, and he does have maximum mana. Alright, Demon Hunter checking out that front door. Meanwhile, back over here, that's easily going to be cleared out. What's going on over here? Wisp looking to perhaps set up an expansion as the Demon Hunter now pulling back away. The Panda is in a good spot right here. Is he going to perhaps try and Breath of Fire these units? And it looks like he's going to be doing that. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, and he is getting in some easy damage onto all of those units. There goes one already. Staff of Teleportation to head back home, and now acolytes need to be trained in addition to rebuilding this haunted gold mine. Only 2 acolytes left. All right. Lawliet has plenty of time to set up his expansion, and it looks like Believe is not going to be able to venture forth. He is going to be in the defensive spot for a little while longer. And as he sits here trying to recover everything, trying to train up more acolytes, little does he know his opponent, Lawliet, is building up an expansion of his own, and he will be getting twice the amount of income as his opponent. 56 over 70 compared to 68 over 70. A little difference in terms of overall army size. Dryads and bears, 1-0 upgrades on those units. Meanwhile, Crypt Fiends are also upgraded at 1-0 as well. Not going to be able to upgrade anytime soon, though, as there is no surplus of gold at this stage. All right, Destroyer out trying to fly overhead. Isn't going to be able to get away. Slow poison causing a little bit of problems. Goblin Zeppelin up in the air as the Dryads catching up with that Destroyer. That Destroyer just caught in midfield, out of position, and it gets taken down. And Believe cannot believe what he's seen right now, as he is just waiting for what I believe to be in the inevitable. Believe is not going to have enough units in this next fight, short of some amazing micro, to get back out of this. Lawliet holding his expansion here, knowing that if I engage, I'm in a good spot since I have an economic advantage. If I don't engage, well then, what am I even trying to do right now? I need to just put pressure on my opponent. The gold mine, 3,700, well, about an 1,800 or 2,000 gold difference between the primary gold mines at this point. All right, let's take a look. The ghouls are off over here. Demon Hunter sitting at level 4. Goblin Zeppelin is here as well. You can take a look. Panda. All the units are ready to go. Druid of the Claw is not in. Some of them are in Druid form, surprisingly. And what is going to be happening here? Perhaps they're going to drop into the back once again, try and take down this haunted gold mine, as Believe sitting on a 59 over 70 supply army. All right, Tree of Life nearly completed, 68 over 90. Okay, there's the engagement. Act 1 Ziggurat quickly taken out. Staff of Preservation. Is this one panda going to be able to make its way back out? You can see that it has used a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, and it's going to just Breath of Fire and attempt to take down some of these units here. All right, Panda taking a fair bit of damage, finally getting away, using a Scroll of Town Portal, and it looks like it will be able to get back with no real problem. Lawliet doing a lot of cute plays right now, but not really doing all that much to shut down Believe. Believe is still currently sitting on 1 base, 1 gold mine. He is getting 7 gold a second compared to his opponent's 14, as we're also looking at hippogriffs being added. Once the hippogriffs are added, if the Crypt Fiends do not have web, that will pretty much be GG, as the Destroyers will end up getting taken down, leaving nothing to really challenge the Druid of the Claws. All right, let's head back off over here. Druid of the Claws are all across over here. Some of the Druids are in the back. I don't see any in the Zeppelin here. We are going to be going into an engagement. There you have it. Little bit of damage coming across. And now, what is happening here? All right, absorb mana from those Destroyers. They are dealing significant amounts of damage. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire going across multiple units. There is the Destroyers devouring that magic pretty much in an instant, as the Ancient of Wind now trying to engage here. All right, Panda in a little bit of trouble, does survive just a little bit, and it looks as though Believe having a hard time trying to make this push really work. Lawliet is doing a good job pushing this back, even though Believe is putting everything he's got in it, and he's getting a handful of units, including those hippogriffs that are just going to be feeding experience at this point. However, a Destroyer or two may get taken down as well, as there is not enough real healing going on. Staff of Preservation saves another bear, I believe. Destroyers now going after some of those bears, as well as you can see another hippogriff gets webbed back down. All right, so far Lawliet continuing to win all of these scuffles and takes this series 2-0. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game number 2 in this series. Lawliet taking down Believe 2-0.